Okay.
All right. Yeah, there it goes. Oh,
Oh,
and we're
there we go.
live.
And we're live. Yeah. So let's hope that today is the last live stream from a hospital room
At least for any time in the, near
in the near
future.
future. Yeah, it's like
Right,
what
right,
you
right.
lasted what like C lasted 5 days before he was admitted again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So yeah.
hopefully we're out to break records now. We're gonna go for 5 years this
There,
time.
yes.
Okay.
Actually, yes. Let's do that. Let's not stream from a hospital for another 5 years.
Oh my gosh. Good morning, everyone.
Oh my
It
goodness.
is May 15th,
Ew,
2023.
ew,
And I'm
God.
okay with the months flying now, because you know what that means, Daphne?
What does it mean?
I'm 4 months away from being in your arms.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's like so we're gonna do a special stream live from the office. You get
Live from
squished.
New York. It's Monday morning.
Yeah, exactly. We'll exactly do that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
You ready for this?
Absolutely not. But hit it.
Alright, Get in the Tub, number 1, by Mitch Rogers. Now what do? I need an artist, an editor. There's so much to do. If only there was some kind of thing or show or something that could break down from start to finish how to make a comic. I could read a book on that, but I just realized I can't read. Oh my god, who are you?
Hi, I'm a hammer with googly eyes and I'm here to tell you about Build a Comics Workshop, a show featuring artist C. Michael Lanning and writer Chad Perkins building a comic from start to finish. Join in on the discussions and learn some tips and tricks on how to make comics. It's sure to be exciting, trust me, I'm a talking hammer. Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indie Comics Network.
Oh my goodness.
And that is why C has to hurry up and get out of this hospital.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I think it's very hopeful that you're still running the commercial. But then again, he has been working on something, right?
Oh,
Like
he's working
he's
now.
been
Yeah, he's in there drawing and yeah.
right. Oh, that's good. That's good. So who's joining us today in the chat this Monday morning?
So far, just I see Jody McPhee, John
Hello.
Celestri, and Efrain.
Hello. Welcome to this this kind of like this mellow-ish, not mellow in kind of a good way type of thing, but mellow and kind of like an exhausting kind of mellow Monday.
I
You
can't
know,
be my hyper self. I might scare these people.
yeah, I know that's true. It's true. I mean, it's one thing, when you're kind of like when you're by yourself. Hey, Allison, glad you're feeling better. Yeah, it's like so Allison also had her
Got the
stint.
COVID.
Yeah, and now I think she's home now. And yes, hello, Jay, hello. Yeah, yeah, Jesus Christ, it's like just everybody having their moments. That's for sure. Okay, so you know what? I might as well get this started. Yeah, I know, right? Chad. Oh, and speaking of Chad, if you missed, Chad was on Jose's stream yesterday. Talking comics on a Sunday. With JD Calderon, and it was actually a pretty interesting show. So if you missed that episode, they were talking about like dealing with shady publishing companies and what we learned from it and how you can kind of protect yourself from it happening again. So
Guns.
if that's, yeah, I know, guns. It's like, yeah, I couldn't exactly say no to that. But yeah, so if you missed that episode, you can go ahead and check that out on our playlist in the Indie Comics Network or on JD Calderon's YouTube channel as well. No, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely, I mean, it's like, yeah, COVID gets 0 stars, and what C has, if I could give it no stars, I would.
Right.
You get negative
Do not
stars.
recommend.
Absolutely do
Right.
not recommend. But yeah, so before Ifrain rings that bell to remind me, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and especially after this weekend, you know what that means.
Emotional damage.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, especially Tall Tales Or So I Thought, which I finally finished yesterday afternoon. But we're going to talk more about that. Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm finally done with this project. So yes, so Tall Tales, Or So I Thought, now officially on schedule. So keep an eye out for that. The link is in the show notes below, so you can hit the notify button on the pre-launch page on Kickstarter, so you get notified when the campaign goes live. And I am also known for my, check this out, my mature audience's slice of life medieval fantasy, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. I'm still workshopping that, so it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but neither did the other thing either. So you know what? We're working with what we got. So yes, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn returns to Kickstarter later this summer with issue 7 already. And yes, and speaking of issue 7, I am currently shipping out issue 6. And speaking of fulfillment, yes, so
I bet you that's one of my packages, Daphne.
I haven't sent it out
Damn
yet.
it.
Oh, but
good,
it might be
don't.
Oswald. Although it might be Oswald though, if you
Oh crap.
it might be Oswald, because all of Oswald, yes. So if you pledged to the Oswald Chronicles, all packages, all rewards have been sent out. So keep an eye out for that. And speaking of fulfillment, saves 10% on your next Gemini mailer order with our coupon code RAGEN10. Make sure that your books arrive to their thank you, Chad, thank you. So they are, probably it is Oswald that's on your porch right now.
It probably not on my porch anymore.
Yeah, it's probably being read by one of your meth head neighbors.
Hey, but whatever.
I hope they enjoy it. I hope they enjoy it.
Me too. I hope you enjoy it, crackhead fuckers.
Yes, you can save 10% using our coupon code RAGEN10. And not only can you get the packaging, but you could also get bags and boards as well. So if you're not even shipping, if you have a comic book collection that needs organizing, needs cleaning up, we all have that box that that's sitting in a corner all neglected. You can buy your bags and boards from Gemini Comic Supply and save 10% while you're doing that. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos. There we go. You see? There we go. egoworks.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about that, here's Nita
Okay,
from
so I'm
the
watching
bed.
myself. Yes, live from Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center in Baton Rouge. Oh my gosh. My name is Nita Lanning. I'm a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana, and I am the executive producer of the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. And we have shows and stuff and streams that I'm trying to see if this the computer or the Wi-Fi that's
Right.
fucking up.
Oh,
How do
well.
I look?
You look fine. You look fine. It's like you're just
Thank
backlit,
you.
you know? It's like, you know.
Well, I'm backlit for people's privacy because the
Well,
hall,
that's
like, I
true.
really
Yeah,
have
you
very
don't
few
want to
places
turn
I
yeah,
can
you don't want
stream.
to turn around and, that's
No,
it's like,
no.
look, hopefully by Friday we can have a normal show again.
Although there's
And
this one nurse, if she walks by, I'm gonna show y'all her.
oh no. I don't know if it's a good idea to put her on stream without her
Just
permission.
her back. That's all we need to see.
Oh no.
And I'm sorry, I'm such a toxic dude. All right.
Hey. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so do you have I mean it's like any updates? Yeah, thank you Facebook user. Come on over. Yes, and you know what? And yes, I see you. Thank you for reminding me. And I see you, the 10 people watching me next to my giant eyeball on the screen from regions beyond. If you're following us on Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. It's a lot easier for us to have a conversation here. Facebook kind of acts up, and Twitter doesn't even allow us to see your comments. So come on over and let's conversate together. And
Social media hates us.
yeah, well, but yeah, it's like, and yes, Facebook user, come on over to YouTube so that you can declare yourself, because right now you're anonymous. You're anonymous Facebook user. Yeah. So is there any so do you want to give us kind of like an update as to what's going on, or just
Okay, so C
like
labs for the most part are back to, in the normal range. He had some fluctuation today, of course, because they were talking about discharging him. So now we're waiting on more labs to determine whether or not we get to go home today. Um, so which the plan is once the dialysis is done and the kidneys are stable, we'll go home and he'll do outpatient chemo and we just go from there. But
mhm,
after the flares are extinguished, it should be able to be maintained with
right,
diet and medication to where, but it's just getting past this freaking point to cool
right,
everything down because
yeah,
I mean he flared up in every major organ. I mean he had his kidney shutting down, his lungs were bleeding, he had lesions on his skin. I mean it's been crazy. I mean
right,
that's
yeah. Well, I mean,
and I'm just
hopefully.
wanting to go home.
No, absolutely. And I think nobody wants to go home more than C, because it's like I'm
Yeah,
sure he is going absolutely bonkers because it's
especially
like,
now that he's feeling better. Like he
mhm,
feels better, but he's still sick. So
right,
it's like he's bored and restless and ready to draw, wants to and don't
right,
get sleep. And so it's
yeah,
just yeah, we're ready to be home with the kids. I miss the
right,
kids so bad.
right.
Little shit. But I do know that my tolerance for them is 3 days. Once I've been away for 3 days,
Oh
it's like,
well,
"I
yeah,
miss my babies."
right. Well,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but yeah, but hopefully, yeah, like I said, hopefully by Friday we can have a normal stream, back at the
Right.
office, and kind of like get back into the routine of things. And yes, and hopefully we can keep the flare-ups from, yeah, because probably this one ended up, yes, definitely. Thank you. That like this flare up happened because he started treatment on the original,
Right.
so it's kind of like his body is like freaking out, and then hopefully they could just after this it'll just be kind of like, oh, okay, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Yes, and no, yes, and definitely stay away from the armadillos, although the
So,
armadillos had nothing to do with
yeah, the
it.
armadillos really had nothing to do with it. They were just suspects, but they
Right.
they're innocent now.
Everybody was suspect.
Right.
when they were trying to figure out when they were, when it was an episode of House MD,
I
for
did
a
learn
little bit.
something interesting yesterday, though.
Uh-oh,
If
what?
you're a blood or plasma donor and you donate blood or plasma, the recipient of your blood or plasma, if you have any allergies, will temporarily be allergic to whatever you were allergic to.
I was fascinated by that. It's like
Because he had that plasma donation yesterday
plasma.
after his dialysis. And as soon as the dialysis was over, he started getting these whelps all over him. And it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Something new. What is
Right,
this shit? And it turned out it was an allergic reaction to something, whatever one of his donors had. But it's only temporary because once it's processed through, you metabolize and run
uh-huh,
the plasma through your stream or what your
right,
bloodstream and whatnot, it regulates. But while you're
right.
receiving and up to 48 hours after, you could be
Wow.
allergic to what the ever.
Oh my goodness, that sucks. Plasma. Dog plasma. Remember that Tex Avery, that weird. Well,
Oh
to
my
say
God.
weird and
Tex
Tex
Avery.
Avery, in the same
Mm.
sentence is redundant. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was something that I didn't know either. Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting.
Right.
But what was I think the coolest part was is how fast a human being can become spotted.
Oh, yeah, no, for real.
Like,
I
I
mean,
mean, it was
yeah,
instantaneous. It's like he's like, "Oh,
right.
I got an itch," and then the next thing you know, he's like looks like a leopard. It was crazy.
Right. Wow. That sucks, man. But then again, technically, that's what happened when the whole thing started, right? It started off as like a little speck, and then a couple of hours later, it took up his
It just
entire
kept
leg.
going. Right.
I mean, Jesus, when the human body goes bad, the human body is stupid.
Especially when you have an immune system that like wants to do the
Right.
opposite of what it's supposed to do. It's like, here, oh, something's wrong with my kidneys. Oh, that's cool. Let me go attack your knees and your elbows and
Right.
your
Yeah. It's
ears
like
and your
I'm gonna attack your ankles today. It's like,
Wait, you know what? You've got kidney problems? Psh, dude, that's nothing. Watch these skin lesions.
yeah, I know. Oh, it sucks, but yeah, it's like yeah, I could only imagine what how C is feeling because yeah, it's like bouncing off the walls, you
Yeah,
know.
it's just now it's like, okay, this is boring.
Right?
We've had the attention. We're
Yeah,
he's like, I'm stable. Can we just go home now?
yeah, exactly, exactly. Can we go back to the nonsense that we're used to?
Right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay.
Ah,
So
comic books.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of comic books, I just want to show off a couple of just two books that I got in the mail that I had forgot to mention. Um, I think like the last time. So I just want to thank Nina Amberline. I finally got her latest copy of Sunrise Blossom, and I got the not safe for work. I didn't realize that the cover was also not safe for work, and I had to I had to prepare it for you too. So it's just washi tape that I put. But yeah, so now it's like I can continue reading the rest of the series. Also, what's funny is that for this campaign, which I found interesting, is that, like I said, this is the not safe for work version. It's not just the cover. There's an extra scene in the inside, which I thought was pretty funny that she actually did. That she did a not safe for work version, and I guess like a regular, like if you're not into that, you could just get like the regular version. So yeah, I have to ask her, like, so who bought what? I'm pretty sure the not safe for work version did a lot better than the regular version. But I just want to thank her for the latest issue of Sunrise Blossom. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Also, speaking of I finally got I got a copy of Doghouse. So what happened was that JD had gotten his copies already, and he had an extra one. So he gave me this one so I could at least have it on my little shelf here where I have covers that I did. So yeah, so we got Doghouse, which is from Hasm Productions, and I just want to thank Tina and for for sending this out, and Rodney and everything. Hey George. And yeah, so that also goes on this pile that I have to read, to have to finish reading. I mean, so I can finally read the next book, finish reading the next book that I have here, so I can do the next video in that series. Or, I guess kind of like what's in my pile type of thing, what I'm reading at the moment. But so yeah, so thank you, Tina, thank you, Rodney. And like I said, this is my variant cover that I'm not sure, I guess if you go to Hasm, I'm not .com, I don't know if do they have extras if you want to
They'll
pick
be
up?
in the store. And also,
Okay.
like right now, while they're still in the process of shipping, if you're interested in any of the covers, you could probably contact Tina McElhenney and she'll take care of you.
There you go. Yeah, because not only
So.
do I have this regular cover, I also have a nude version of this cover as well. So hopefully, so if you wanted to pick up.
And C and I too, but we're kind of like my shipping would be unreliable at the
Right, yeah,
time.
that's true. Yeah, so
But I
contact
do have
Tina.
several
Yeah,
comps that I'm willing to
yeah.
part with you.
Right. So there you go. So there you go. So again, this came in the other day, so I'm looking forward to putting, to getting that. Like, it goes in the pile, and then I get to to read it later. So also in the I guess the in this category would be the chat made me buy it. So the other day, last Wednesday, I was doing a live stream where I was painting my sketch covers for Eager Raven, which by the way, if you pledged to Eager Raven issue 6, the first of the packages are going out after the show is finished. I'm going to go to the post office and send out the first of the packages to Eager Raven issue 6. So if you pledge to it, everything's beginning to go out. And hopefully by the end of the week, I will have most of the most of issue 6 out the door, so we can get all that cleared up. So on Wednesday, I was doing unfortunately, I don't know if you could see it here. I was painting these sketch covers with some metallic paints. I don't know if you could see it. Oh, probably because I don't have any of my lights on, which explains why, yeah, it's like, so I don't know if you can see it, but it's metallic mica paint, which is very shiny. I do have another video of it on my Facebook page, kind of like showing the shiny better. So while I was painting up this one, people in the chat were saying that I should do this background, because all of the covers that I have this similar theme, kind of like I was going for,
Right.
like kind of like a medieval icon type of imagery. And the chat was saying how I should do each of these like kind of like a different like this background thing, a different color, just to kind of like, just to kind of mix it up a bit. And I didn't have different colors, but because the chat kept mentioning it, I go, you know what, that really is a good idea. What I did was I bought an extra set of mica paints. So this is, what's funny is that these are like, so the original that I was using was Fine Tech. These very shiny paints. This is the one that I was using with the red and Fine Tech. But it seems that the exact same company sells it also under a different name called Colrio. So Coloro. So it's from Germany, and I'm very happy with how these paints how these paints go down on the paper. I like it. Oh, thank you. I like it a lot better than using the Poscas, which streak, and they kind of wreck the paper a bit, while this is actually watercolor. So
Right.
it goes, once it dries, it's like super shiny, super solid. I mean, yeah, make sure you put in enough layers so you don't streak. So thanks to the chat, I got the extra colors. So probably on Wednesday, I'm going to paint up another one of these covers, using the new paints that the chat requested that I buy. So you see, that's the benefit of coming, of coming to YouTube and joining us in the chat, because you get to tell me what to do sometimes
They get to tell
directly.
you, hey, look, it doesn't streak and it goes
Right.
down on paper.
Oh no.
I've been here too long.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So yeah, so this is going to be fun to try out on Wednesday. So if you want to watch me break in these paints, join me on my stream on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, and we'll just paint up another cover and and get more of those done, so I can get these covers off to where they're supposed to go. Like I said, I'm really happy with the way it came out. It's so pretty. Unfortunately, it doesn't scan very well. Like you just can't, like, yeah, I would have to take I'm probably going to take like one more photo of it before I send anything out, just to kind of like see if I can get like more of an accurate representation of the cover, because yeah, I really enjoyed using these paints. um yeah, so one last thing. Yeah, so like I said, oh my goodness, oh there we go. So like I said, I finally finished coloring Tall Tales, or so I thought, which is the very first full color Tall Tales comic that we have ever published. And it will be launching on Kickstarter very soon. So right now I'm just putting together the file for Mixum, so that I can get that I can get the proof done, and then we can tweak it, and then I will be on schedule. And I will be on schedule for the for launching the Kickstarter. But I don't want to say the date yet until it's like I'm pretty solid with what I have. But I figure, in the meantime, though, I thought that maybe I could give. Oh, hold on. We could do a Raging exclusive really quick here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's see. So yeah, so like I said, this is going to be a one shot. That it's a prequel to the Thieves Quest storyline. It centers around Gabriel, the Gabriel, I guess, depending on how you pronounce it. Uh, the warrior bard Panda, and how he meets Ravenwood's father. So I finally finished the story, and I just wanted to give everybody a little peek as to what it's going to look like. So this is so like I said, I'm putting together the proof for the book. And yeah, so this is just like this is just like what it's looking like in color, and lettered and everything. Like I said, I am very happy with how these pages came out. It's really weird seeing Tall Tales in color. I mean, it's like you would think, like the
It's
covers
great
and
though. Oh my
whatnot. Yeah, I
gosh.
know.
You did awesome.
It's like it just came out so much better than I was expecting. And it required some work to really to really prepare, because again, it was one of those things that this is older artwork. And I really had to resist the temptation to redraw things or to fix up things too much. And but you know what, I have to respect the artist that I was when I did this. So I just went on trying to just finish it up as best as I could. And I think I think it came out really, really well. I mean, especially yesterday. I
Yeah, it was
was
great.
yeah, I mean, I'm look, I'm even happier with how it looks on the screen. I was really especially trying to figure out what to do with this pattern, like especially now that the book is in color. Like, okay, how do I make this look nice? And I'm just really chuffed at this. Although yesterday what was funny was that I was just really, really trying to push myself to finish those last 3 pages. It's like I have this thing where it's like no matter where I am on a yeah, I know, really. No matter where I am on a project or how many of these projects that I do, once I get to like the last 10 pages, it's like I hit a brick wall. And then it's like I could have some really, really good momentum. And then those last 10 pages, it's like I struggle so hard to get through them. So it was that's pretty much like I could have had this book done 2 weeks ago, but it just wasn't working out like that. Like I literally had to switch from other projects as well, just to kind of like try to like, okay, maybe I just have to do something a little different now and then come back to it. But then there just came a point where I was like just excited to finish it and fed up with looking at it at the same time. So, um, so if you're working on a project and you kind of like feel that way, it's like you're not the only one that goes through that it's like, yeah, there's just something at the last part of a project that like all of a sudden it feels like it's in slow motion. But the second I finished that last page, it was like a whole new momentum. And
Next book.
yeah, next project. Next project. Which is both the Eagle Raven issue 7, which I had started coloring that at the same time, and also working on the Unicorn's King's Daughter, which that comes out later this year as well. So what do you think, Nita? Do you think that I should just say like when I'm looking to announce? Whoa, what's going on
I
there?
don't know what that is. Oh, that's C's phone.
Oh, okay. There we go. So do you think I should announce like when we're looking to launch this project, or should I wait?
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so you're hearing it here first. So because it's officially done, and I'm going to be proofing it. So, like I said, link is in the show notes. Tall Tales or So I Thought is in pre-launch right now on Kickstarter. So if you click on notify me, you will get an email when the campaign goes live. And because it is done, I am ahead of myself. The project Tall Tales or So I Thought, the first full color Tall Tales project, one shot, will be launching June 2nd, Friday, June 2nd. So so I was kind of trying not to be under the wire with this. So if you want to pick up, make sure you don't miss out on getting this book, add to your Tall Tales collection. June 2nd is when we are launching. We'll be launching it on the air, on the vlogs. So yeah, but if you don't, make sure you don't want to miss it. Make sure you hit the notify me on the pre-launch page, so that the second it goes live, you're there. You can pick up a copy. So thank you everybody who's supported all my campaigns so far. Yeah, so let's see, so what else yeah, so I was listening to, and speaking of Kickstarters, so I know that you had put in this topic, business or hobby, right?
Right.
And yeah, and it's like,
Because I just make that shit up.
yeah, I know, because it's
Yeah.
like, well, but it gives me something to focus on, so
There you
I
go.
actually
You're
got
welcome.
to think about it for a bit. And yeah, that's kind of like, it's like, it's kind of funny how it's like a lot of us, it's like, because here's the thing though, it's like, even though this is all I do pretty much, I still really do consider myself a hobbyist. And I know for a fact that
But do you
Jose,
consider yourself a hobbyist because you enjoy what you're doing?
I mean, because I
Because you
enjoy.
can have business and you can mix business and pleasure in this
Right.
industry, you know?
Right. Well, yeah, I
Like,
know. Maybe that's what it is, because it's like I'm very hesitant to say that, like, oh, this is a job. But you see, the funny thing is that
but
it
it
is.
is.
That's the thing. I mean, it's like hobby is what, like technically, like Jose calls himself a hobbyist because he has an actual job, you
But
know,
but
that he
he's still
goes
a
to.
writer, and it's still a
Yeah,
job too, because
yeah,
Jose is all about figuring out the fucking market, and
yeah,
not only does he have a love and a passion for his projects, but he also wants to benefit from them. Like, I was being a smart ass when I was like business or hobbyist. I'm talking about
right,
these mother lovers whose mama thinks that they can draw, and they start running these Kickstarters, and we're supposed to just
right,
jump behind them and be like, "Yeah, this
right,
is great," and it's
right,
shit, and it's
right. Well, yeah, because it's like, because it's funny, because it's like, again, like I said, if you missed yesterday's show with JD Calderon and his panel, um he had Tom Hutchinson on, and Tom was talking about how um that how thanks to Kickstarter, there are no gatekeepers.
no.
It's not like you have to get published by somebody. It's not like you have to go through Diamond. Like the floodgates are open. If you want to do a comic and you want to put it up on Kickstarter, you can do that.
Right.
It's like access to PODs have never been easier. I mean, you can literally get one copy of your comic printed, as opposed to in the past where you had to commit to 3,000 or you weren't getting anything done.
Yeah, nowadays it's like you got $30, you're published.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, so it's like, people can, yeah, all people of all sorts can go on Kickstarter and try to make their way. It's kind of like, hey, go west, young man, type of thing. And it is kind of the Wild West on on Kickstarter. Yeah, does that mean we have to like everything that we see on Kickstarter? Absolutely not. I mean, honestly, it's like, look, I mean, there are books that professionals have been putting out that I can't stand, more than an amateur trying to put out mommy's best comic boy or whatever out on Kickstarter as well. So,
Yeah, that
I,
sounds so dirty.
you know so I mean, especially this weekend, I've been in my feels a lot, because it gets very, when I'm finishing a book, it gets very emotional for me. um and it's like I said, I was all in my feels, and this is the thing, too. So here's the thing. So even if you're doing this as a hobby, or if you're running this as a, serious business type of thing, I mean, it still requires you to really think about what you're doing and how you're going to do it, and what your plans are, because even if you're just doing it as a hobby, you still have to think about this stuff, or at least I think so, because then it's like, look, if you're just fucking around, you're just fucking around, right? But I think it's a lot of effort to just be fucking around, you know so it's like, so it's like, yeah, so I would think that doing research with how, whatever crowdfunding platform you're on, like how it works, how it functions, what it requires from you, um and like, just because something's a hobby doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously, you know
Then it's business.
but yeah, I guess. Technically, if you're paying taxes on your earnings, it's a business.
I like like the people that are in the middle ground. I like don't
Right.
take yourself too seriously. It's fucking
Right.
independent comics. Not only one of you can be a millionaire and he's already there.
Right.
Like it just it's complicated. Like
Right.
I don't like the people who come in and it's for a quick buck.
Right.
Like that's not that's not business. I don't like the people who are coming in and trying to sell us $30 comic books plus shipping of shit that I have better quality art on my refrigerator at home.
Right.
You feel me? Like
Right.
it's just like, and not that these people can't improve their art, but I think that their time and energy should be more invested in that than in
Right.
the crowdfunding aspect at this time.
Right.
Like I need to be on YouTube bettering myself. I need to study anatomy. I need to do those
Right.
type of things.
I mean,
Not
yeah, here's the funny thing. Yesterday I was listening to a podcast where this guy was talking about like the top 5 pitfalls of I don't know. I forgot just I guess in general, right? And two things were actually pretty similar. And the thing that he actually says that you shouldn't be doing is multitasking and having a side hustle, right? Now, that kind of like sounds like, wait a minute, it's like I thought those were good things to have. Well, the thing that he says, that he clarifies when he says that, is that because the the research on whether multitasking actually works, unfortunately the research states that no, you're not multitasking, you're just doing multiple things at the same time poorly. Like you're better off concentrating on one thing at a time, as opposed to trying to spin all the plates. But the thing is, though, in the situation that we're in, you have to spin plates. But here's the thing, though, even when you're spinning one plate, there comes a point where you can't think about the other plates. So that's what he means by that it's like, look, you're better off kind of hyper focusing on one thing. Like I tried to do like the three comics at once. In the end, I ended up putting all my concentration in the Tall Tales book just to get that finished, because it's like, yeah, I could do the other books at the same time too, but you know what, I really need to get this book needs to be a priority. There needs to be priority, right? And then there's this whole side hustle thing where it's like, oh, but I think that, oh, well, I thought that having a side hustle is good for you and whatnot, because extra income.
it's
Well,
not a
here,
side hustle. It's a second job business.
you see, that's
If it's
the
a
thing.
side hustle, it's a hobby.
Right. Well, you see, this is the thing, because it's like, yeah, it's like, because if you're side hustling something that's not related to your primary, to your, I guess, like your primary goal, then what you've done is created a second job, not a side hustle. Like you said, because now you have to put your energy into something else to start from zero, as opposed to creating something that actually is going to be in addition to, to what your main focus is. So, and yeah, and I think that what happens is that there are people who see Kickstarter as a side hustle that they have to get into, when it's like you said, really what they should be doing is taking that energy and focusing on their comic, on improving their artwork, and it's like building their YouTube portfolio. We were talking about how YouTube is actually like, it took me a while to figure this out, but YouTube is my portfolio.
Right.
you
Absolutely.
know so it's like, I have to, so it's like, yeah, so some people, they're better off starting with like concentrating on creating their comic and improving their artwork and whatnot, and then building a YouTube portfolio, which will help bring in an audience, who then in turn, the hope is that they will then follow you on Kickstarter. By going straight to Kickstarter when you don't have experience in anything else, you're putting the cart before the horse. Because if it's one thing, that top 200 most funded comics like that the one takeaway, if there was one takeaway from that, is that the top sellers built their audience before they even got to Kickstarter. And that's the thing. If you're coming to Kickstarter with no audience, you're in for a rough time. You want to succeed on Kickstarter, you have to bring an audience that'll follow you there. That's how you have better longevity or better success on Kickstarter.
Right.
But if you're coming in straight, and it's like you don't really have the audience for it, you're gonna have a rough time.
You're going to have a rough time, but I will say this: of all the platforms, Kickstarter is going to be the most likely one for you to fund on and to begin to build your audience.
Right.
Because unlike these other platforms, like I'm not going to name them. Y'all know the names of them.
Tom names them. So watch the show from last night.
Like those platforms require you to bring your audience. Kickstarter, if you're trying to get off to a start, you're not a social media mogul or whatever, you do have the opportunity to start to build your audience there. But it's going to be a slow build. Don't expect to become Brian Pulido tomorrow.
Which you're not going to.
Right.
Because I think that's kind of the frustrating thing, which again Tom had mentioned, where it's like that he sees a lot of these people who they obsess on the competition, and where it's like, oh, I'm doing the same type of book as Brian Pulido. Why am I not making the same type of money? And it's like, well, because you only started this 6 months ago, and Brian Pulido was at this for 35 years. So I mean, dude has an anime. He has a Lady Death anime. So you know what? It's like, it's not. It is definitely not apples to apples. If you're just, it's like, so, so yeah. So it's like, I think that's the funny thing, right? It's like where it's like there's people where it's like, I feel like this is just a hobby, but it's not. But then there are people who treat their thing like a business when it's really a hobby.
These are the ones that drive me crazy. It's like, bro, come on, get over yourself.
So it's like, it was just like, it was just kind of funny to kind of like, like, it's like what constitutes, it's like, I guess if what I guess it's like, look, I mean, I guess in the end it's like only you yourself can, it's like if you're running a business, you're running a business. I mean, that if you actually registered and like I said, you pay taxes on your income from Kickstarter, which I had to do for the first time, it's like, oh yeah, now it's a business. Okay. I can't really say it's a hobby, because the thing is, though, all my effort goes into creating these books. That's the thing. I don't have an outside job. Everything that I do, all my effort goes into doing these books. So also it's like, so, which requires a lot of research and whatnot. And I mean, wow, it's like there was a bunch of things that I was listening to this weekend. So I guess like there was a thread that I saw on Twitter about someone had posted like, what's the biggest hurdle for as an independent publisher, right? And pretty much 90% of the people on the thread said promotion / finding your audience, and and the thing is, though, it's like everybody can pretty much agree that that promotion is important, but how many of us are actually really bad at it? And the thing is, though, it's like, and that's something that we have to learn to do and kind of like get over ourselves, like, and don't be, it's like, because what, if you're running a business, you can't afford to be an artiste. Let's just say that, it's like, oh, I just want to draw my comic. Yeah, I just want to draw my comic and I don't deal with lowly things. Like
the fans will come to me.
Yeah, exactly. The fans will not.
You can't even get people to go to your webpage, let alone follow you.
Right. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like, no, they will not come. Build a better mousetrap, and they'll. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: you're not making mousetraps.
Nope.
You know, you're making a comic, and oh, and here's the funny, and here's also another thing. Look, I'm going to be all over the place because it's like I just have like so many thoughts in my head that if anybody wants me to like just to
Because
stop on one
because
thing
you
and
have to try
clarify
all
something,
the
just tell me
ingredients.
what
You got
happened.
you have to try all the ingredients and try as you go because like we
Yeah.
always say, there is no secret sauce in this. You can look
Right.
at two virtually identical fucking crowdfunders and
Right.
one be hyper successful and another not be.
Right.
The
Because it's
fuck?
like, yeah. Because also somebody had said that, someone in the chat had said something about $30 comics, right? And that reminded me of another conversation that I saw. Where somebody was arguing with a creator saying that you're supposed to be poor, that comics are supposed to be like a trade paperback was supposed to cost $5, and that you weren't supposed to, because you can't mix art with business, which that in and of itself could be its own topic. And I mean, it's like that's also a whole other thing. And it's like, no, you see, that's when it clarified, no, I'm running a business. That's what it's like. Don't you dare tell me that I have to do my comics and be broke just so you can afford my comics. It's like, no, I'm running a business here.
That's right.
you know? you know I mean, it's like, yes, I understand the frustration that Kickstarter comics are more expensive than what you find in your
But
local
you're
comic
getting
book
a
shop.
boutique product. You're
Yeah.
not going to your local comic shop and you're not going to get the stretch goals. You're not going to get prints.
Right.
You're not going to
Yeah, yeah.
get exclusive covers and content.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you could get all that there, but it's going to be
Right.
extra for everything anyway.
Right.
Plus, we're getting shipping.
Right.
We're talking boutique
Yeah.
merchandise here.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
And here's the thing, whether you think a book is
and you
expensive or
better
not.
ship me my shit in a fucking cardboard mailer because God forbid you send me an envelope and I'm going to out your fucking ass and I'm
Right.
never
Yeah,
going to back
no,
you again.
it's like, yeah, it's like, look,
So
coupon
there
code.
are added expenses.
I mean, look, we have a coupon code. You have no excuse. You're raging dead. Pick up your boxes from Gemini Comic Supply. You have no excuse. So yeah, so it's just really funny where it's like I'm being wishy-washy until a guy says, no, you're supposed to be broke, you're supposed to sell your comics for X amount of money. It's like, no, fuck you, this is a business. I still have to make money on this. So and now here's the thing though, whether you think a book is expensive or not expensive or too expensive or whatnot, it's like, look, that's all based on your budget. That has nothing to do with the creator. If a creator wants to charge $35 plus shipping for a
And they have
90
something
page,
you want and you
you
like it,
know,
then it's worth
you
it
know,
to you.
it's like, yeah, it's like, exactly. It's like, and they're charging, yeah. So it's like, for a 90-page
Okay,
comic, it's like, that's not for you to argue.
I
It's
have a
like, look,
solution.
we have a solution. What
I
is
have
it?
a solution. If you see a crowdfunder and you think that it's overvalued for what you're getting, how about you don't fucking buy it? I mean,
Oh my God,
dude,
really?
did you know that you can click away from those things and not even have to enter your credit card number?
And kind of like get on with your life. That's amazing.
I tell
I
you,
mean,
technology
it's
is
like,
something.
I know, really. I mean, but really, it's like, it's like I'm being facetious, but the thing is, the whole point of what I saw, that argument, was that somebody couldn't move on for that. Like they wanted the book, but resented having to pay the actual, like his asking price for the book.
Then
And
they
it's like, and
didn't
here,
want it bad enough.
right. Then it's like, look, it's like, look, it's not that he's being expensive. Why are you cheap? You know, I mean, it's like, it's like, you got to remember, it's like what we do, as much as we talk about, oh, it's art and commerce and this, that, and the other thing, in the end, it's like, it's like, yeah, you know what? In the end, we're all running a business here. We're all running a business here, whether we're doing
Like a
it as
little
a
hobbyist.
hobby or not. Yeah, it's like
No,
whether
no.
we think we're doing a hobby or not, we're still we still have to kind of figure out what's optimal for our book, and if, like I said, if you're just starting out and the only person saying that you should be doing it is your mom, then probably what you should be doing is
Is beginner art
concentrating.
classes.
Yeah, concentrating on building your skill. Do a YouTube channel. I'm dead serious about that. Like I said, consider that an extension of your portfolio that allows you to build an audience
Yeah, a
for
grow with
what you're
me thing.
doing,
Build your
you know?
audience as you grow, and
And
when you're ready
yeah,
to sell a product that's
hmm
actually worth asking somebody for money
right.
for,
Yeah.
they'll be there following you. Yay.
Right, exactly. So it's like, you do that first. But if you're kind of like in the middle like us, um it's like, yeah, it's like there are like all these other things that we have to take into consideration. It's like, did you bring an audience to Kickstarter? If
Right.
not, are you either catering to what the Kickstarter algorithm prefers, or are you kind of accepting that you're doing a niche of a niche product and that's going to take you longer to succeed? Like I said, it doesn't matter if you think you have, it's like, look, I think I do really, really entertaining books, but if people don't see it, they're not coming. There is no mousetrap.
No.
It's like, I'm not making a mousetrap. These are luxury goods we're making. I mean, I know that sounds
Right.
really, really strange,
It's
but
boutique comics.
it's comics in general is a luxury item.
Right.
Okay, nothing of your survival is required on you having a particular comic book to survive. you know so so to have people come up and say, oh, that's too expensive, you charge too much, you shouldn't be charging that much. It's like, again, my question is that when they say, why are you so expensive, my question back is, why are you so cheap?
Huh.
Why do you think that I have to cater to your budget, as opposed to you figuring out what's worth it for your budget and finding those things that meet that criteria? But instead these people want to argue with you, and mind you, this is an argument that transcends comics. I mean, I've been hearing this argument back when I was in furry fandom decades ago, and people would be like, oh, I want your artwork, but I want it for $5, not 40. Well, then you can't have it. Why? Because I said so. My time is worth $40, not $5, but I'm going to give you $5, but I want to pay $5. And it's like, so that when I saw that argument pop up, I just had flashbacks. I literally had flashbacks. You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, because in the end, yeah, in the end, what we're doing is a business,
Right.
and we have to treat it as we would, I guess, any business. If you
But the
take
fun
this
thing about
seriously, yeah,
this business is it is something that we can enjoy as we go.
yeah,
And if you're doing things that you're not enjoying, like the YouTube videos or editing or whatever, there's so many different things we can do to
yeah,
continually grow that
yeah,
alter and change that. Don't
hmm,
sit there and be miserable, because this is a job that should be fucking fun for you. Yes, there are
right,
stresses on the business
yeah,
end, but I'm talking more of like more along the lines of the promotion side, the art side, the
right.
creative side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I always hated the phrase, do what you love and you never work a day in your life. It's like,
That's
no, fuck
bullshit.
you. I am working every fucking minute of my life.
Right.
I mean, it's like I said, it's like, I love working on my comics, but there really does come a point where I get fed up with looking at it.
Right.
That's what happened on Tall Tales, and I literally use that as a momentum to finally finish the book, because it's like, I was like going, if I see this fucking panda one more time, I'm gonna scream.
Poor
I mean, it's
baby.
like, I know. But the thing is, though, is that now that I have it done, it's like, now I can actually appreciate the book
Right.
being finished. And then that's what reminds me, this is what makes it worth it. because I mean, because yeah, it's like, yes, it's supposed to yes, it's nice when it's really fun, but don't forget that it's the work too.
Right.
You have to do the work to get to the fun parts. It can't just be fun all the time. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't quite work that way. Um so yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, like I said, it's like my thoughts are kind of all over the place this week. I had a very long weekend. you know
I was
um
so lonely without you.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, yeah, no, but I really needed to, like, to hunker down and concentrate
Right.
on this. And like I said, I have two more books that I have to finish this
Shut
month
up, Tina. It is
as well.
fun.
I have two more books that I have to finish for this month. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can, I mean, if anything, definitely issue 7, I want to get, I just want to get out as well, because then I can go ahead and just send out a proof for that as well. Because the other book still requires a little bit, yes, I agree. I agree, Jake. I think that's what happens. There really comes a point where it's like, what? I haven't tortured these characters enough. It's been a while. Everyone's having a good time. I need to fix that. That's issue 7, by the way. That's issue 7.
I hate you
Oh
for
my
that.
goodness. So I don't know. You have any final thoughts? Like I said, I'm kind of all over there was one thing that I wanted to talk about that I'm like, well, you know what? We'll save that for the next time. So.
Yeah, I'm just ready to go be depressed again.
Oh no. Why did they say you couldn't leave? You're not
Yep.
leaving today?
Yep.
Ah. Oh well.
All right.
It
So all
happened.
you OB positive fuckers out there, be ready, because I might be begging y'all for a kidney pretty soon.
Oh no.
No, it's not that
Let's
bad,
hope.
but it's
Oh,
like it's
okay.
annoying as fuck. Like,
Right.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, it's like we're gonna have to give him temporary
Well,
hay
who knows?
fever
I mean,
again.
gosh, right?
Yeah. It happens. I mean, that's why with medical stuff, it's like all you can do is day to day. Like honestly, minute to minute.
Yeah, because
I mean,
everything was going down like it was supposed to. Everything was looking
right,
normal, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they
right.
say discharge, the numbers are like,
I
"Oh, fuck
know.
this
All
shit.
the white blood cells are going, wait a minute. Wait
Wait,
a
we're
minute. We're
not
not
done
done
yet. We're
here.
not done
We're
yet."
not done.
God.
Hopefully, like I said, hopefully by Friday, it's like you guys will be back and that's it. Maybe it just needs one more round to settle everything, and that'll be the end of it. So
I hope so.
I hope so too. I'm sure, and I'm sure C more than anybody
Oh, I know
wants
he's
to is
ready.
fed up with this.
Yeah, he's fed up.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So anything else, Nita? I think we're pretty much done here. I mean, a very rambly episode today on my part.
No, I'm gonna ramble my ass on out of here and go
Right.
sulk
Okay.
in the room for a little bit.
Okay. There you go. There you
Gotta
go.
call the kids and tell them, hey, guess what?
Oh yeah, not yet. Not yet.
Right?
So there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday. Like I said, it was a very, very rambly for me. I had a lot going on this weekend, so
Very informative, Lage. Very
well,
informative.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. Yeah. So if you are interested in seeing more of me and my artwork and my other videos and my other live streams, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWRKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing current work in progress, sketches, and live updates, up to date, live updates and whatnot. And remember that you can check out my YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage art, where you can check out all my prettiest. Pretty. No, they are pretty. My
They're
latest ones are
very
pretty.
pretty. They're very
They're
pretty.
my latest videos. All my videos and my weekly art live stream. Like I said, join me on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be breaking in those these mica watercolors because the chat told me to get them. So we're going to have fun with that. And yeah, so join me there as well. And remember, everything simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our videos go live. And remember, you can also read Eagle Raven, Air of the First Unicorn for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading every day, Monday through Friday. So thank you so much for joining us on this rambly Monday. Yeah, so I'll see you again on Wednesday. And hopefully, like I said, we will be back on Friday with a more normal backdrop.
Yes.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us in the chat. Thank you so much to the 7 people watching us who held out for the whole hour. You know, like I said, I hope I was rambling, but I hope it was at least entertaining or somewhat informed. You got something out of it there. So there you have it. Thank you. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
The outro is not playing.